Dean Mazzarella, Mayor of the City of Leominster, and today I'm going to walk you through a big project that we have here in the City of Leominster for the Monoosnoc Brook. And I don't know if you've tried spelling Monoosnoc, but it's a tongue tire, twister, Monoosnoc Brook. Anyway, it's not a huge brook, but it does travel literally through the downtown. It starts up by Rockwell Pond and travels through a bunch of backyards and through the All One Credit Union and behind Wyman's, and then it goes through the downtown. Eventually it ends up in the Nashua River behind the mall. But this piece of the project, when completed, is really going to add some real beauty to the downtown that really kind of puts the cherry on top in this area. We received a number of grants to do a trail, a walking trail literally through the back from Mechanic Street all the way up to Adams Street. Getting people to know that it's a trail is sometimes a little challenging, but it gets used pretty frequently. And it's a beautiful walk through here, especially along the brook, and you're right in downtown Leominster. So I'm going to walk you through this project. It's about a $8-9 million project when you add in all the other pieces to it, mostly funded through FEMA. It started 5-6 years ago, really. I mean, there's different phases of this that got us to where we are today. I'm going to show you later the inlet on this side here, which is closer to the Mechanic Street side. You can see another camera up there, but I'm going to show you that because that's really what started this all off. Is I came to work one day and I was traveling, usually make my rounds through different neighborhoods or through downtown. And I noticed that where the inlet was, there's, looked like there was some settling in the parking lot between Benito's. It's a city parking lot between Benito's and Brady's. And that kind of triggered it all off in terms of, do we have some structural problems here? And then the second piece of the project is right here where you see all of this riprap, all of these large stones here. A couple of years ago, several years ago, we had a winter where we got extreme temperatures. So we had extreme heat and extreme cold weather, and it would fluctuate. The heating and thawing and the freezing and the thawing created a situation where literally this whole stretch of the wall holding up Monoosnoc Brook fell in. And so we have to notify, and if we do any work, DEP, we've got to notify just all these requirements that we're responsible for in terms of compliance, and notified everyone that we did. And just as a stopgap, what we did is place Jersey barriers and brought some stone in. We had a structural engineer look at it and said, well, that'll get you some time. The important piece of this is not only is this one of the walls for the river here, the other key piece is it holds up Manning Ave. So this has dual purpose. One is the wall for the river and the brook, but it also holds up Manning Ave. And you can see it's not that far away from 14 Manning Ave, this 5-story building. So it was of great importance that we got in here and stabilized this. So that's one piece of the project that you'll see is these walls will be restored and completely redone. And there's 2 phases of this project, and I'll walk you through it. Right now I'm trying to show you the reasons, like what are the reasons for this project and why does this have to get done? Well, permitting, engineering, it takes so long, compliance, different agencies. So we're into this for 5 years now, and as I said, through different stages of noticing the deficiency in certain areas to the point where we actually get the grant money and get the project funded. Then it has to go out to bid, and there's certain requirements for that because it's such a large project, and then to actually award the company that's going to do the work. Okay, and I'm going to take you to the second piece here. And this actually happened within the last year. There's a section down here right near the inlet, and that's beginning to deteriorate. So that's another piece of the project that we saw that came later. So is a very good thing that we started in the process of applying for the funding, going through the process of compliance with all the regulatory agencies, and all the things that have to be done when you're doing a project, not only this magnitude, but that involves a river or a lake or a brook. So we really have two areas of concern. One is that area that I showed you with the brook and the walls that surround it, and the danger that if the walls continue to fall, or that area that's temporarily holding it let loose, then that whole road, Manning Ave, and everything around it will have to be shut down. And that's the sense of urgency here. The second piece is this parking lot. This parking lot goes, the river goes underneath Monoosnoc Brook. I call it a river. It's a river to me. It's Monoosnoc Brook is the official name. The brook goes underneath this parking area. And as I started to say a little while ago, where I showed you how you could see that settling and the steel rotting and decaying, you can see it. And that's the spot I saw it very first. And that's what triggered this whole project off, is when I saw it. Structure under here is deteriorating. And what happened is, if you're a lifelong resident of Leominster, remember back in the 60s or late 50s, there were buildings across here that faced Mechanic Street. This would have been the rear of those buildings. When there was a fire or they tore those buildings down, all they pretty much did is, and you can see some of the areas around here, all they did is cap it. They cut metal, steel beams, they got it to a certain level, and they capped it, and they put parking over it. Below this parking lot is pretty much whatever they left, which is rotting steel beams, structurally deficient areas in here that were holding up the parking lot. The culvert has pretty much rotted out. It's of no real use any longer. A lot of what the contents that are in here is asbestos, and this has to be safely removed. So this is a project with two different phases. It's all part of Monoosnoc Brook, but one is daylighted, which has walls holding it up, and the other part is capped. And those are the two phases of the project. We have an excellent contractor that bid the job. He's been working with us every day. Anyway, this area here all has to come up. And to sort of compound the challenge of this project, the state and federal government, when they saw the project and we were applying for funding, said, you know, you really should daylight this brook so that people can see this brook all the way from Central Street all the way through Mechanic Street, and then it's daylighted the rest of the way until it gets to the mall. So they were adamant that this section here be daylighted. And while we would have loved to have daylighted the brook all the way, the fact of the matter is we need the parking. This is a huge piece of parking in the downtown that helps with, if anybody's been down here on a Thursday, Friday night, even a day like today, the reason there aren't people park here today is we're beginning to move the employees further away from the parking areas, because you're not going to be able to park here. We need as many spots as we can for the customers. So gradually pushing further and further the employees, which we'll talk about the Flamingo Express and what that's going to do in a minute. But that is the reason why this area, the walls are falling in on that side, the culvert is rotted on this side, and everything structurally holding up this parking lot is beginning to decay and is in severe danger of eventually just collapsing. And if that's the case, and this collapses, now we begin another process of compliance, which is an emergency certification, which kicks in, triggers in a whole bunch of other things. So here's what will happen. We're gearing up right now. You can see some construction equipment around here. They brought in some trailers and they're slowly gearing up. We don't want to close this parking lot. There's still another approval process. It's a technical engineering thing with the culvert. The state needs to sign off on that, and then the contractor will get busy. We have a team of city employees, contractor engineers have been working on this for so long. We've had public hearings. I mean, this has been a project that's front and center for so long. And so we understand the impact to any businesses around here, whether they're restaurants, office. It's become a busy place. It's a very busy downtown. And so we understand that. So as we proceeded into the project, we do so fully understanding that, this has an impact and that we really need to do this with that in mind. And we have. Every step of the way, every step of the process, we've included, okay, well, how's this going to impact, the businesses? So I'm going to take you through phase one. Let's give you phase one. So the contractor will not fence this off and start bringing equipment until the very last second, till he knows he's ready to start in here. So, and we have a Facebook page for anybody that's interested, businesses. We also have a website, and we send out almost daily. We can send out an email or a Facebook or whatever, updating everybody as to what's happening. So as a for instance, the contractor's going to come in. He has to cut some trees. We don't want them cut, but we have to get them cut. They're in the middle of the project. So we'll send out an email. It'll be on the Facebook and the website. It'll say, and we'll notify everybody, hey, you'll see some work here. Tree company's going to come in. So every step of the way, we are communicating to all of the tenants that are down here, all the business owners, the property owners, and you. And if you'd like, again, if you are interested, we have a website and a Facebook page to communicate through whatever vehicle it is, and that's what we're doing today. So phase one here is this area here will be closed off, phase one. And that'll be closed off because in the back section here in front of Benito's is the electrical power generation for this area here. So this will be closed down so we can replace underground electrical power units there. The contractor's excellent. Every day he comes up with a new thing. I think I can save us a day. So it could be 2 weeks. I mean, we're hoping, it could be a month, but could be 2 weeks. But he's going to concentrate on this area so we can keep this road open. All right, so I just showed you the first part of phase one. Second part of phase one, or B, right, A and B, is this whole parking lot will be closed off. So that's why this is very important, that we have a plan in place. So this parking lot right here will be closed off. Again, they will not close this off until the second that it's absolutely necessary. And again, we'll over communicate. So this is a vital part. There are a lot of parking spots in here, and this is all city-owned property right here. These are all city parking spots. So that's phase one. So in phase one, there'll be a walkway from Mechanic Street to the side door of Brady's. That'll allow the public to in and out of exit and enter into Brady's. From that point on, that is the area. From that point on, from that walkway, is the area where this material underneath has to be removed, and the culvert is a huge dig into this center of the parking lot. So by the time you bring in the equipment, you bring in the culvert and all the materials, this area will all be shut down. And so that's phase one. Phase two will be the Brook project. So you will not be able to travel Manning Ave, and that's the road that goes between right aside of Brady's, and then it travels through the Central Street. That's Manning Ave. You will not be able to drive there. There is a back entrance up off of Mount Pleasant Ave. You'll be able to use that. And so you'll be able to access Columbia, Manning Ave building, all the restaurants from Central Street. That's the way you'll access that. Now, the key important other part of this, that through the process, we've purchased 3, we call it Flamingo Express. There's 3 golf-style extended versions of golf carts. These are roadworthy, so they can be registered. They meet all the safety requirements. They have heat and sides and everything that you'll need. We have a route, we'll share that with you, of spots like the parking garage, different parking areas. We own all the parking behind C&M Pizza. That is public parking. So we have set areas of downtown, in parking areas where we're going to encourage employees and customers to park. We are adding spots on Mount Pleasant Ave. for parking that weren't there before. And in front of Benito's, there was 2 lanes. We're cutting 1 lane down and we're adding parking. So that's going to help. And we have 3, and we don't know if we're going to need 3 all day or 3 on a Thursday night or a Friday, but we purchased 3. And those units will travel around to those set areas, but there'll be a phone number and at each of those areas. And if you're at the parking garage and you call the phone number that's on there or text, the driver will just come right out and get you. There's no sense going around the whole route. We could call to another unit and send them out to get you picked up. So we'll have that for employees, and we'll also have that for customers as they're trying. So the customer will literally be picked up somewhere downtown. We'll pick you up and we'll bring you right to your restaurant or whatever business you're going to. We'll take you right to it. No issues at all. So that's, I'll take you in front of Benito's to show you the construction that we're doing there and how we're going to block 1 lane off so that we can put parking. So you can see that lane will be closed. Typically it's 2 lanes. That's the right turn lane that gets down Mechanic Street. It's going to take patience. It's going to take everybody to cooperate. The project must be done. Can we wait till next summer? Can we wait till the winter? No, the project needs to start. It's getting to the point where those that have gone underneath the inlet, gone under the parking area, have said it's structurally deficient, and they are not waiting any longer than we need to. I mean, the things that we have to wait for, and we're waiting, but we're moving quickly. So that's an update as to how things will work. We've had an excellent team of city workers and engineers working with us, the contractor and his team, every step of the way, every day, to see if we can't make modifications. Now, I talked a little bit about, were there things that we could do along the way, and there are. And we moved $250,000 to this project so we could expedite it. There's a certain piece of equipment that the contractor doesn't have that you have to rent. And so we're doing that because that'll expedite the project. So we're doing everything within our means to make this as smooth as possible. If you have any questions, 534-7500, extension 0 at City Hall, and we'll do periodic updates to let you know exactly what's going on. The most important part is do not avoid the area. These businesses are open. They need you to continue on. There's no reason why you wouldn't want to continue to do business down here and visit the businesses and the restaurants. We're literally going to pick you up. We're literally going to bring you off to the doorstep. We'll literally pick you up later and bring you back to your motor vehicle. So that's an update for now. And again, we'll do periodic updates to keep you informed, as well as the city council, the boards and commissions, other city departments, as I said, the businesses, and especially you, the customers. Any questions? 978-534-7500. It's the $9 million Monoosnoc brick project, and when done, it's going to be absolutely beautiful.